challenge you with something. Have you ever noticed how many people keep trying to earn what should only be freely given or can only be freely given? That's right, only be freely given. Read that again or listen to that again. They keep trying to earn what can only be freely given. You cannot earn somebody's willingness to commit. You cannot purchase genuine desire. Doesn't that make sense? You cannot purchase genuine desire. It just is. You cannot negotiate attraction. It makes sense, right? You cannot convince someone into emotional readiness through perfect behavior. You can inspire, you can encourage, you can influence, but you cannot manufacture commitment. Now, I know people do, and I know people stay in these robotic relationships for years on end, and their needs are met in various ways. I get that. That's not what you want. I don't think that's what you want. And maybe that's why situationships become so exhausting for some. Because one person believes they're one more thoughtful act away from certainty. One more conversation, one more gift, one more sacrifice, one more weekend, one more chance, one more display of patience. Meanwhile, the other person isn't counting the same score. They're living in an entirely different game. That's why one person feels robbed. You know what I'm saying? And the other person feels confused. One says, "After everything I did." The other says, "I never asked you to." Neither statement cancels the other one out. They simply reveal that two completely different relationships were happening at the same time with the same people. That's what I think situationships really is. And that's why I'm not really for it, honestly, at all. Not two people avoiding labels. Two people assigning completely different meanings to the same exact experience. That's it. Experience or experiences. One person thinks they're writing chapter 1. The other person thinks they're reading a short story. That's why the ending feels so different. One person lost a future. The other person ended an experience. Those are not emotionally equal losses. And maybe that's why so many people walk away asking, how could they move on so quickly? Maybe it's because they were leaving the same relationship they weren't leaving the same relationship you were. Maybe you were building a home while they thought they were just renting a room or in an Airbnb for a weekend. And that is that is a painful realization. Because it means the greatest misunderstanding wasn't necessarily what either person said. It was what each person believed the relationship was actually being. So where does this all end? Relationship bankruptcy. Now, when people hear the word bankruptcy, they think about money. I don't. I think about running out of emotional resources, running out of patience, running out of hope, running out of excuses, running out of energy, running out of things to give because you were already giving from a depleted existence in the first place. Because eventually there comes a day when you sit quietly by yourself and realize something. You gave more than you should have. Not because you're a bad person and not because you're weak or foolish, because somewhere along the way you confused investment with inevitability.